All right, we're here. This is Lincoln Parish Park up in Ruston. I think there's 33 camper spots. We're at the start of the loop over here, and we're going to walk around and check them all out. That's the road you would drive in on. You hang to the right and come down here to the beginning of the RV sites. Here, Christmas is a big time. They're already setting up stuff. This is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. They do a lot of light stuff and have people drive through here to see the lights. And from what I understand, and we saw in other YouTubers, the campers decorate their sites a lot. So this is the beginning. And if you want to come here, they have mountain bike trails and hiking trails and a lake, all kinds of cool stuff. So these sites would be okay. You would get to enjoy all the amenities. I've seen larger fifth wheels back into these. Doesn't seem to be a problem. The way it's laid out with nothing over here on the left, you don't tend to get people parking like idiots, and it's small, so you don't have any problem with your truck swing. This is site 1. And site 2. You're coming down this hill. Like I said, these are all good sites if you just want to get here and enjoy the amenities. But down here a little ways, you'll see the sites on the lake that are very nice. See, and what I'm saying, there's very little on the left to obstruct your backing in when your truck has to swing around, so it makes it really nice to get in. You can see up here on the left, this is one of the pull-throughs. There's 4 pull-through sites on the left, but they're so big and long, you could park 2, maybe 3 vehicles with them and still not even be encroaching on the road any. See how wide the driveway is and how gradual the turn is. You got plenty of room. Now you're starting to see the lake here. And they seem to be very strict about your dogs on a leash. This sign says 30 days in jail or $500 fine. So, boom. See, here's a big momentum.
This is probably the start of the lake site.
Yeah, I think site 8 is the start of the ones if you really have the water view. This is probably a 38 foot, 39 foot, maybe even the same length as ours, 39.6 or something. I think that's probably the same size as Kathy and Todd's. It's site 9. This is one of the pull-throughs over here with nobody in it. Site 11. Some of these you got a little more tree action, maybe blocking your view. Like site 12, you got trees you'd have to look through and see, but plenty of room to back in anything, I think.
I think site 13 is where you want to be.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that.
See the lake up there?
Barb is saying starting here at 13 are the ones that she likes, because you got a view, like a full view of the lake, not just a little finger on the lake. They have garbage cans every 3 sites, 4 sites, and the garbage pickup is on Monday. Site 14. This is a big giant. Number 15 is a huge pull through. I bet it's over 100 feet long. You can see a spot of the lake out here. A lot of people packing up. There's a few empty sites up here that we can go in and look at. This is site 17. '18. There's another big pull through with a bus, and you can see the pavilion building up there that I was talking about. This is a big pavilion room for meetings, gatherings, parties. I guess you have to schedule it or reserve it somehow. I don't know if it costs money or not, but it's a big nice room. It's locked right now, but it's got tables and stuff like that in it. Seems to be nice. Would have been nice if it was unlocked with the bad weather we had last night, but they do have a bathhouse over here. And the bathhouses are very clean. They're just a little old and basic, but they're very clean. This Brinkley is site 19. There's our Raptor up there in the corner. I'll show you that site here in a sec and why we picked it, but I'm gonna give you a quick tour of these two open sites right here. This is site 20, and that's site 21 next to it. And you got a fire pit, nice big wide area. And come out on the lake. You can see the site. There's piers in random parts around the lake. There's a nice paved walking path all around the lake. We've seen deer, squirrels. I caught a few bass. It's been really nice.
Let's say be mindful of the afternoon sun. Try to pick a spot with trees shading you, especially in the summer.
Yes. We do get the sun in the afternoon, but they're all facing that way pretty much. The only thing I will complain about is the sewer connections don't have threads on them. So if you got one of those fancy new connections that everybody on YouTube's buying that ratchets down, it would be great. Otherwise, you have to use the Flintstone method and put a couple of rocks on it. All these are good sites. Turn. Look at the logs he was trying to burn. That's a dude you said had his chainsaw.
Actually,
So, I will tell you this. Starlink was a challenge here. It's hit and miss. 1 minute you'll be getting 300 downloads, and the next minute you'll be getting 8. Especially when the weather was bad, it got real bad. But even at its slowest speeds, we never had a problem with streaming TV, and you can see what we're dealing with our Starlink. But we didn't have too much of a problems, except during the rains. It got down to 2 a couple of times, and we had problems streaming. It buffered and buffered, but then it would jack right back up to normal speeds. I'm not sure that's good, but see the water coming out the bottom of his camper. And his water connection's way over there to the right. Let's say it's coming out. Think I should go turn his water off? If we see him later, we'll talk to him, tell him I turned it off. Like I said, you see we got the Flintstone rock method going on over there, but full power, water, Starlink. That's what Starlink's looking at. Got a nice little thing they put your name on right here. Another pull through in the corner, and then there's a back in here where this big rig is, and another one like that, and then you're up to, it's like 28 doesn't have a great view of the water, kind of if you sit in the back. All right, I'm going back this way. So the reason we chose these over here in this corner is because you can come around this turn and kind of straighten up to back straight in. It made it a very easy back in. There's the 350, so you can see plenty of room parking the 350 next to the camper. Definitely bring your e-bikes. Our electric bikes have been great here. So this will be a trip on the electric e-bike. I don't have my mounts, so I'm holding this and riding with one hand. One thing about this park is, I think it's a Lincoln Parish rule that you have to have helmets if you ride. So bring your helmets, and if you don't have them, they actually will rent them at the front. It's free. So it's quite hilly, so I mean, for us in Louisiana, it's quite hilly. But if you're not in the greatest shape, an electric bike really helps. That's why we're on our X Peaks right now. This is a big overflow parking lot. It's more of the tent camping. We've seen a few deer. You'll see light plants that they've got set up. I think December 4th is when the Christmas light stuff starts out here. So they're actively getting prepared. And from what I gather, I see some company stuff. So I think companies get a section, you know, they sponsor it and they get a section, and you'll see a little place decorated and it says buy your local power cooperative or whatever. The trails are really well marked when you're riding. I have some trail footage. I doubt we're going to get on any of the trails today because it rained like crazy yesterday and last night. You can see some standing water there. All this was dry as could be yesterday, before yesterday. Well, like you see, we're coming up on a trail crossing where it comes from over here on the right and it crosses the road. And you can see the trail heading off through the woods. You see, I think somebody's going to decorate here. Provision, security. They just hadn't started setting theirs up. But here's what I was talking about. If you're not in the greatest shape, this is a pretty significant hill. We rode a pretty good bit of this beginner trail, and it's nice. I would say even if you were on one of the foldable electrics, you could probably do that. There's a few long gradual uphills that might get difficult. You just have to use a little more pedal assist. They sell firewood at the front and ice. I'm having to change my pedal assist while I'm making this video. We saw them starting to set up all this stuff. State Farm. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear Barbara, but see that tree? They've started wrapping all the trees with Christmas lights, and my friend that lives out this way says that they get a ton of folks. This is a good one. You know, I said we rode the beginner trail. This is the not so beginner trail. And you can see Yeehaw going down that. And like I've said in other videos, and normally do this in a golf cart, but we didn't bring the golf cart, so we're walking and riding bikes. So if you hear what sounds like I'm vacuuming, that's just me breathing. This must be why Jared uses a hat cam. This is like a little public access area. They have picnic tables, parking. See a good backstory view of the campground. Let's slow down here and get a better shot of that. They have a beach. Beach is not open right now. A few piers. They have kayaks for rent. And back off in the distance, you can see the campers. So that'll give you a good view of what you're looking back on. The paved path around the lake is very nice. There's a few rough places where the tree roots have busted up the asphalt, but other than that, it's nice. There's a tree trail that you can walk that has all the trees labeled, so you can learn a little bit about what you're looking at. I can't recommend enough these Sena helmets with the two-way communication. It's so nice to be able to talk to each other while you're riding. What sign? Oh, yeah. Get that on the way back. So this way is another big public area. It's fantastic over here. If you look right here, you can see off in the distance that big thing for riding your bike over. And then they call this the waterfall, and it's where a bunch of the trailheads leave from. You go up that and launch down one of those steep wooden ramps. Didn't do much of that. They all have closed signs on them today because of the bad weather yesterday.
You'll stay down here?
Yes.
Do you want me to take the camera?
If you want.
I assume so. Do a slalom.
All those have just got closed signs. Yeah, it's got closed signs on the trail. You too, man. Good luck with the rehab.
That's one Brandy would like. I know. You can drive over. Mamba.
bet you're not 10 minutes from the interstate, and you get off the interstate and you go down this one main road, and then this is Parish Park Road, which looks like a little residential street that goes for a half a mile maybe, and then you hit the Lincoln Parish Park gates. It says dead end up by the road, but on the dead end sign it says park ahead, RV park ahead. So you come in these gates, see, close at 6, but you can see the gate and stuff. Come in up this hill, car and RV. Woosah, I need some power. Ooh, that was this hill was a one-handed, caught me off guard issue. Then you pull around and park over here, and you walk in that door. "2022 Campground of the Year in Louisiana." Security rides around. Lincoln lights up the pines.